Hello everyone, this is me, Magbo. You probably haven't heard from me yet, but I've been helping Angry Guy editing some videos as of late. Like I was helping him make compilation videos on TikTok for different subject about, women and inflation, stuff like that. And it's been a lot of fun so far. So, this video, Angry Guy assigned me to take over and do a commentary on this video, The Life in China. Chinese leftover women regret being too arrogant, I guess. So, I'm going to have my own opinions. It may be a lot different from Angry Guys, but it's something to add on to it. But yeah, I just want to let you know I'm Magbo. I have a gaming channel. If you guys want to check in the link in the description below, Magbo Gaming. That's where I post my video games collection if you're into that stuff. If you're into me like game hunting, different types of video games out there for my collection, or if you're into retro gamings in general, then you might want to check it out. There might be a lot of good stuff for you there. Also, if you're looking for a video editor for your project, I could probably help out as well. You could go to my channel. I should have an Instagram page there, and you could DM me right there in Instagram. So, without further ado, I just wanted to say something about Angry's Crypto Academy real quick because, I also got to promote his business as well. So, I am really proud to say, I am one of the members of the Angry's Crypto Academy, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So, here is the whole promotion before we start this commentary. And guys, learn how to make a full-time living in crypto with courses and guides by visiting the Angry's Crypto Academy, which is in the link in the description below. Check it out, guys. I think you're going to enjoy. Definitely get yourself ready on crypto because hard times are coming, like Angry Guy says. And definitely, there's a lot of situations like this that you need to be focused on getting your money up and not women. So if you see the gameplay is a lot different from what Angry Guy does. So it's a Game Boy game that I'm playing. So, every time I talk, you'll probably see this gameplay of Frogger here that I'm actually playing. So just wanted you to be informed of that. It's me actually playing the game, so I own the copyrights. I didn't got it for any other YouTubers out there. So yeah, nice to meet you all. I hope my commentary is good for this channel, and let's get started with the video.
At a gathering, I saw a guy who used to pursue me. 2 days ago, I attended a high school reunion.
Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to say as well, that I usually will pause pretty frequently compared to Angry Guy, because every time she says something that I may want to add something to it, then I'm going to pause and let you guys know.
And met a boy who had once pursued me. I remember that he used to be short, had dark skin, and dressed a bit unfashionably. In short, the kind of guy who didn't stand out at all. At the time, I didn't have much interest in him. In fact, I could say I wasn't interested in him at all. However, this time when we met again, his transformation shocked me. He is now an executive at a major company, and his entire demeanor is completely different from back then. He exudes confidence and maturity, speaks gracefully and clearly, leads a very successful and happy life. His current lifestyle is full of the aura of success and happiness. What struck me most is that the man I looked down on in my early 20s has turned out to be so outstanding at the age of 38, perfectly matching my current criteria for a partner.
Now, here's the thing, guys. This is funny because, yeah, I am 37 years old right now. It tends to be that, many women out there today, they tend to go for older guys. Older guys that are more successful, that have more resources, that has a great reputation out there. A guy that could provide, it has all the resources. But when you are looking at a guy in their like 20s, early 20s, 18, 19 or whatever, well, they're just starting out. They barely don't have much to go by. They're probably still living with their parents. I'll be honest with you, I'm 37 and I'm living with my parents as well because times are tough. Rent is crazy. I am not earning like the amount of income that I should at my age, but at the same time, I know that I'm not alone in this. There's people that rather be, instead of working a 9-to-5 job, they rather be just chilling and try to work for themselves and freelance, which I do. I freelance, I invest in cryptos and all that stuff. So here's the situation here. So when you are much younger, a lot of women are not going to pay attention to you. But once you build up yourself, once you grind, once you have all the other things that you need to impress a woman, suddenly this same woman that looked down to you back when you were younger, you're 38, now she wants you, but you don't want her. Why? Because at that point, like, if she's around the same age as you, if you liked her when she was like 21 and you're like 22, for example, maybe 23, 24, doesn't matter. Now you're 38 and she's like 34, 35. And around that age, in your 30s, the woman starts kind of like, not all of them. I can't say for everyone, because some women really do take care of themselves and they produce healthy children even at that age. But there are a lot of times that at that age, they already had a lot of, sex with a lot of men out there at this point. They hold a lot of baggages. So, do I still want a woman near my age? It all depends, honestly, but for the most part, they're full of baggages. I would much rather be with a much younger woman in like early 20s or so.
Not only has he achieved career success, but his personality and appearance have also undergone a complete makeover.
Oh yeah, and when you improve yourself, you look a lot different. Like if you used to be like fat, ugly, and all that stuff in your early 20s, for example, or mid 20s, and then 38, you work out, you improve your looks as much as you can, because there's certain things you don't have control over. You don't have control over how tall you are. So if you're not 6 foot tall and you stay like at 5'7", 5'6", you can't control that. And your face, you can only do so much to control it, but you need like plastic surgery. But that's kind of fake to me.
Aligning exactly with what I now look for. Unfortunately, he is already married with children, and it is clear that we are not meant to be.
Yeah, because it's too late for you. Yeah, that's the thing with women. They don't want someone while they're at their worst, but they want it at their best. But it's like they said, if you cannot accept me at my worst, you do not deserve me at my best. And now this guy is well off. He has children. He has a wife. He has a healthy family. He's successful in life. He's not going to go back to you anymore at this point. And you got to accept that.
This stark contrast made me sigh with emotion. Truly, if I could have another chance, I definitely wouldn't wait until my 30s to get married or look for a partner. I would make sure to find someone in my 20s and get married as soon as possible. Honestly.
And that's a very sad reality. A lot of people regrets not being able to settle down with a man in their 20s. So when they get to their 30s, they start to regret. They have all this success in their lives. They have, their careers. They have their money. They have their properties, their car, and all that stuff. And then you say, oh, I'm too good for a man. But once you get to that age, you're going to, you start noticing that you are missing something in your life. Men can survive without women a lot better than women survive without men.
When you reach your 30s, you realize you don't even know how to chat with the opposite sex anymore. You just eat whatever they offer. Don't even want to make eye contact and lose curiosity about everything. You haven't experienced things, so you don't find them interesting. By your 30s, you'll find yourself thinking, is that all there is to it? I already know everything. Now, trying to find a suitable partner feels incredibly difficult. First, you need to be able to connect and share the same understanding.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why, in my opinion, the best time for you to meet someone and have a healthy relationship is in your late teens or your 20s. Like, I feel, even as a man myself, even I feel like in my 30s, like, it's very difficult for me to connect with any women around my age. And knowing now that a lot of younger women in their, like, early 20s, 18, 19, for example, they seek for older men for the most part. And now, like, if you built yourself up to a point and you worked on yourself and you are a lot healthier, then you're going to have more options in your late 30s, even in your 40s, than a woman would. A woman has all the options in the world in their 20s, and, they're able to choose whoever. Yeah, keep that synced in pretty much.
Might not matter as much, but finding someone with the same mindset and someone you can talk to is just so hard. After 30 years of habits, knowledge, experiences, and people you've met, the differences between people become vast. The gap in personal growth becomes huge. So the longer you're out in society, the fewer marriage prospects you have.
Yeah, that's the harsh truth with women. Sometimes some men as well. I'm not gonna rule men out in this because there are some men out there that they're not physically shaped in their 30s, that they have I don't want to criticize, their appearance or anything like that. But let's just say they don't take care of themselves by the time they're 30, and they lump into this category as well. But for women, their fertility window starts to degrade once they're in their 30s and stuff like that. And most men out there that wants to have a relationship with someone that has not been tampered with, that's still a virgin and all that stuff. And then, you tend to regret after a while. Yeah, you just opt out of society. Yeah, I'll have some more to say very soon.
Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
I'm telling everyone you must marry early, ideally before 28. Get yourself married off.
And this is for women. I'm not married yet. I'm 37. I'm a man, and I kind of feel like, oh, I'm already too late. But no, no. Thankfully, I am aware of all this fact that even if a man in his 30, like I'm 37, I could still, eventually, like online. There's a lot of younger women out there that considers me handsome still. While when I was younger, not a lot of people said that to me. So, it's crazy.
Because after 30, you'll realize the quality of people you meet through matchmaking drops, and the number of prospects dwindles.
And that is very true. Like even in dating apps, like the quality of the prospects of me to choose from in around my age is not very good. Like there's not a lot of options of, women that you really are attracted to once they're after like 30, 35, 40. Like, I can't mess with these women anymore if I want to have a healthy child in the future. But, like I said, I'm not too worried about having children anytime soon because of this economy.
People will introduce you to any man just because you're older, regardless of whether you're a good match. Matchmakers will think you're old, you don't deserve better, and they'll just push any man your way. As you get older, no matter how outstanding you are, unless you're extremely lucky and marry someone you're truly satisfied with, your options are limited.
Yeah, a lot of men to find a woman that they want in their lives that won't flake on you or cheat on you or ghost you or anything like that. They're gonna have to be very lucky as an average man to find a quality woman. And once a woman reaches a certain age, their looks are just as bad too, if not worse as they age more. But I don't know really. That's how I feel. It goes both ways sometimes.
It's either someone with good family conditions but lacking in personality, or someone who seems decent but has poor financial conditions, or a divorce.
You have no idea how many people in their 30s are broke right now. Like they depend on a 9 to 5 job, and they don't have much to go around. They don't have much to show for their hard work at all this time. Yeah, it sucks, you know, and their options are going to be very limited. Our options are going to be limited. I'm closing into 40. It's crazy.
Divorcee without kids or a divorcee with kids. The choices are truly few and far between. Sometimes I don't even know why I let myself get delayed to this age. I was serious and devoted.
I'm not gonna lie, this woman right here, she looks like in her late 20s, and she doesn't look that old, because like Asians, they actually look pretty good for their age.
When I was in relationships and I worked hard and stayed focused at my job, you'd think hardworking people would be a bit luckier, right? But I wasn't. I feel like nothing has gone smoothly for me. I always try to stay positive, telling myself everything happens for my benefit. But it's been 5 years, and I still don't know where this mindset has gotten me or what it's turned me into.
And unfortunately, most of the time it doesn't get better from here. Once you're 35 or older, as a woman, the prospect's gonna be a lot less. A lot of older guys that have their lives together, that they're fit, and they have a lot of money and all that stuff, they're gonna look for the youngest woman possible that they could legally be able to get. So, you know, it's tough. There are men out there that accept women their age, don't get me wrong, but I think that there's more guys out there that are looking for younger women.
You're 35 and still not married. At this age, my parents want to urge me openly, but are afraid of pushing me too far. If they don't urge me, they're anxious on their own. If I act like I don't care, that's not okay either. I'm this old, I still need to get married. But if I start caring...
I mean, she still looks good for her age, I'm not gonna lie. She could still score a man, but question is it a man of status? Is it a man that she's expect? Because I think she's from China, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of Chinese women, they ask for a huge amount of requirements for a man to be able to marry her, like even paying a dowry, like some of the angry guy videos I've been listening to, a dowry just to marry her. That's insane.
Caring more, there's still no one suitable around me. People think I'm too picky, but that's really not the case. You're a man. Do you think you're worth 800,000 yuan? Am I worth 800,000?
Yeah,
no, I'm worth 1.8 million.
Like, what does it matter about the worth of someone's net worth? I guess it matters in society and stuff, but it's just so superficial. Like, a lot of women are not going to accept the man for who they are, but accept the man who has resources, that has value, that has skills, that is 6 foot tall most of the times and all that stuff. She's only going to care about the status of someone, and if you don't meet up to her standards, you're pretty much not gonna be able to have any chance with this woman.
Who's going to pay 800,000 to marry a 38 or 40-year-old leftover woman who's...
Yeah, I mean, there's guys out there. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that this woman does not look 38 or 40. Oh heck no, she looks like in her early 20s. Yes, she looks really good for her age, but yet there's a lot of men out there that won't accept women like this just because of their age, just because, well, you know, they have a lot of baggages, they have a lot of experience, I guess you could say, with SEX or with Chad and Tyrone and all that stuff. You get the idea.
Still thinks she's superior hilarious. Hello everyone. I don't want to avoid the issue anymore. I want to face myself. I'm that woman who's cut off water and electricity demanding an 800,000 yuan dowry. Ouyang Weiwei. I'm 38 years old.
You see what I mean? You see what I talk about dowries, that women has like really high requirements in order to marry her, and she being 38 years old. Like, why would I marry a woman? Why would I have to pay like $500,000 or something like that? I don't know how much 800,000 euros is. You feel free to correct me in the description below or in the comment section below. But why would I pay that much money just to simply get married? Like, there's a lot better women out there that are younger that doesn't really demand that much of a man, as long as, you know, the man is good-hearted, they take care of her, they, you know, try to help her out, and then she tries to do the same for the man. You know, mutual respect, mutual relationship doesn't seem to exist as much in this world today, unless you go into a certain country that's still not corrupted by this Western culture of the dating market today, I guess.
A master's graduate, 168 meters tall, 128 pounds, currently unmarried and childless. And now I feel like my life is so miserable. I deeply regret marrying late, truly regret it. I've ruined myself, let myself waste away. My youth is gone.
And yeah, that's the problem too. Like, women have all the power. They feel like they have all the power to actually do, get any man they want, and they could choose whatever at a young age, between the age of 18 to like 25, which is the peak of beauty. Once they're like, closing to their 30s and stuff, they start noticing that they're not as beautiful as they used to be. They don't have as much sexual power and stuff like that like they used to, and then they start regretting, and then they start wanting a man. They will take any man, but then you ask for a dowry, and like, you're not entitled. I don't know, you're not entitled to asking anyone for that type of deal, I believe.
I used to be arrogant, looking down on ordinary people, always thinking I could find someone better, always keeping one foot out the door while looking for something else. Now I deeply repent. I know I was wrong. I'm guilty. I don't know how to wash away my sins. I'm so full of regret. Flowers may bloom again, but youth never returns.
That's true. Like I said, as you grow older, you're never gonna get any younger as the years passes by. You're just gonna age, and your looks does not stay forever. And another thing is that, yes, God is willing to forgive you from your sins if you repent and all that stuff, but you're not gonna become any younger. You're gonna have to accept that life and get what you can at that age. I have to accept it as well at some point too. But as a man, at least I still have some time to get someone a lot younger than me, as long as she's legal age, of course.
I was wrong, truly wrong. I beg for God's forgiveness. I made a grave mistake and delayed my own life. I feel deep self-blame and guilt. I also urge everyone not to marry late. In the end, you'll find that refusing to settle leads to being left with nothing rotting away in your own hands. I'm deeply remorseful now. I've let myself down.
Yeah, and I'm glad that she realizes it. She realizes it when it was too late, and unfortunately, she's gonna have to live with that regret for the rest of her life. But if she's able to find someone that's actually accepting of her, and she kind of has what she wants in a relationship with him, then they could still be happy. But definitely good advice to women out there who watches. Do not wait too long to get married. Definitely get married before your 30s.
If you're still single, no matter your age, you should visit a matchmaking corner. There, you'll see a huge number of leftover people from society. It's a heartbreaking sight. Even their parents often show up there. It's pitiful, the hearts of parents, and it makes you sigh. Once I passed by Hangzhou's Wansongli matchmaking corner, and the scene was spectacular. It truly shocked me. As I've mentioned before, in every big city, the gender ratio at matchmaking corners is now 1 man to 9 women. 80 to 90% of the people there are the parents of women. It's a tragic scene.
That's still, I haven't seen those numbers yet where I am. Like, if that was the case, like, if there was, unfortunately, I don't know in Puerto Rico they have any matchmaking thing or bars and stuff where there's mostly women. Then again, I haven't been to any of those places in a long time, because I feel like that there's nothing there for me, and I think it's a waste of time for me to go there. But wow, like, if that was the case, then men, around the older age, in their 40s or 30s, they will still have a lot of options. But I guess the options that they have is a lot of leftover women that they probably don't want. So that's why there's probably not a lot of men there in the whole dating pool right now in that side. I don't know. I still believe, in my opinion, that there's a lot more single men than single women. But I think that's going to change as the economy starts degrading more. And, women cannot live without a man. Men can live under a shoebox in the side of the road, like Angry Guy says, but women cannot. And now, when they realize that, it's a lot harder for them. I'm kind of shocked. I'm still trying to process this because didn't think that was a reality. I thought that there were a lot more single men out there than single women. Anyways, I'm almost done with the commentary. I'm gonna commentate a couple more minutes, and then I'll go to the conclusion pretty much.
In places like Beijing, the number of leftover women is 4 times that of leftover men.
And that's in China, by the way. I don't think that's the case in the United States of America. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I think that there's a lot more single men in America, in Puerto Rico, than there is of single women out there. And if there is, they're mostly single moms, women with a lot of baggages, women that are not so attractive, obese women. Not trying to make fun of obese women, but I'm just saying those are probably the odds of the options you have as an older man if you're looking for someone your own age. When everyone's telling you, oh, look for someone your own age. Someone was saying to me one time, oh, that's a very dangerous age gap, that a man in their 30s are looking for women in their like 18 to 25, right? But yet they're legal adults.
1 million single women staying single for the long term. I find it so strange. Many of these women have houses and cars, and their conditions are pretty good. But have you noticed their age? They're mostly in their 30s or older. For example, my mom's colleague's daughter a few years ago was earning 600,000 yuan a year in Hangzhou. Her parents had saved up a lot, raised her like a son, and as an only child, she has a house and a car. She's very ambitious, always busy with her career. But when it came time to talk about marriage, she was 35. Shocking. A matchmaker introduced her to someone.
It's really sad for me to even think about that I'm 37, and when people are telling me to look for women my own age, and my own age is probably the age range between maybe 32 to 38, maybe around there. Most of the women I have encountered around that age I don't find attractive anymore. That's just me. I'm more attracted to like women in their early to mid 20s. And that's the thing. That's the freaking thing. Like, people say, oh, look for someone your own age and it's appropriate. But, more and more men are moving overseas to find women a lot younger than them. Like, even men in their 50s in the Philippines. I witnessed it myself because I actually been to the Philippines back in 2018. I seen a man in their 50s or 60s falling in love and dating a women in their 20s. Yes, that's a thing over there in the Philippines. Crazy. Okay, we're almost done here. Let's just commentate a little bit more.
One who met her conditions, someone with similar financial status and age, who also had a house and car and came from a decent family. But what happened? The guy met her briefly, and after a few days he backed out. Guess who he ended up with? A recent graduate and intern earning just 2,000 yuan, more than 10 years younger than her. I bet he's about to marry that post-00's girl soon. So many women really have this illusion when they get older. I have a car and a house, so I must be competitive, right? Wrong men who match.
It's the same thing like saying, okay, you'll see a woman in their 50s, and she has like 2 cars, she has a couple of houses, she is very well off financially, but let's just say that she looks in her 50s or maybe a little bit more older. Does men want a rich woman around her 50s and she may look a little older than that, or maybe around that age? Most men will not go for that. Most men will rather go for a younger woman that doesn't have much going for them because he has all the resources already to take care of her, and it's worth it because of their value in the marketplace. Their sexual value is a lot higher in their 20s than their 50s, of course.
Your financial conditions will most likely go for someone young, pretty and vibrant, an intern who just graduated earning 2,000 yuan, more than 10 years younger. They won't choose an older woman like you. Some might say, well, can't a high-achieving woman consider a man with lesser conditions?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I think I'm going to end it here. It's almost the 10-minute mark because this video is going on to 30 minutes already. But yeah, it's like a lot of women are delusional, thinking that they could score any man just because they have resources and wealth and all that stuff. That doesn't work the same way as a man having all that stuff, and then they could attract a younger woman. But there's not a lot of younger men out there that will go for an older woman with all those resources or being their sugar mommy or any of that stuff. So That's the thing. We as gender, we work differently. We operate differently. We have two different operating systems and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much my commentary for this. Maybe in another time I'll do the other half of this video and commentate on that if Angry Guy wants me to do it that way. But yeah, this is my first time commentary for his channel. I hope that it was good. I know a lot of the times is a lot different than Angry Guy. You know, I'm not gonna act exactly like him, but I do watch his content for a reason. It's because, you know, me myself have had many struggles with women in the past. When I was much younger, like I barely, every time I approach a woman, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, they get creeped out by me. And even to this day, I feel the same way as well. Like, you know, it's not easy for us, man. You know, Angry Guy is right for this, that we need to focus more on making our money and getting into crypto rather than on women. Get yourself up there. Once you achieve your goal in your 30s or even your 40s and stuff, which hopefully I'll be aiming for that by then there'll be a lot of younger women out there that will seek for men like you if you really want to, or just go to anywhere overseas that doesn't have the Western culture deep within their brains, I guess you could say. So yeah, this has been Magbo. I've been helping Angry Guy in his video editing sometimes whenever he needs me to. I'm very honored to be featured in this channel. If you want to check my gaming channel, in the description below I have a tiny URL link. You could click there. You could check out my channel, MagoboGaming. So yeah, I'll see you all the next time. I hope you all stay safe, and I'll see you later. Peace.